Imagine for a moment that you've just turned 60. You've accumulated decades of experience, raised children, built relationships, perhaps even achieved some measure of success. Now, as time moves forward, the dynamic of support begins to shift. You may still be surrounded by family, friends, and loved ones, but there comes a realization that for all their love, support, and care, they cannot be the unshakable foundation you need. The foundation upon which you must build your life in your later years is something far deeper, far more profound. It is not something external, but something intrinsic to your own existence. The 5 pillars I'm going to talk to you about today are not just necessary, they're vital. Without them, your life after 60 risks becoming a fragile structure, easily eroded by the unpredictable tides of time. Personal responsibility is the cornerstone of a stable and fulfilling life, especially as one enters the later years. The idea that others, family, friends, or institutions will always be there to catch you is comforting, but it is ultimately unreliable. People have their own lives to live, their own struggles to face, and their own responsibilities to carry. While support from loved ones can certainly be valuable, it cannot serve as the foundation of your well-being. That foundation must come from within, from a deep sense of personal ownership over one's life, decisions, and future. Aging brings new challenges, but it also brings a new level of freedom. By the time a person reaches 60, they have spent decades navigating societal expectations, fulfilling obligations to others, and making sacrifices for the benefit of family, career, and community. However, there comes a point where the responsibility for one's well-being shifts inward. It is no longer about what others expect of you, but about what you expect of yourself. This is a time when taking responsibility for your health, finances, relationships, and emotional well-being is not just important, it is essential. One of the greatest illusions people have is the belief that someone else will step in and take care of things when the need arises. While this might be true in moments of crisis, it is not a sustainable way to live. Children grow up and build their own lives. Friends become occupied with their own struggles, and the broader society is not designed to cater to the individual. This means that the person you must rely on the most is yourself. It is not about rejecting help, but about ensuring that you are in a position where you do not have to depend on it. Financial stability is one of the key aspects of personal responsibility. Many people enter their later years unprepared, assuming that family members or government programs will fill in the gaps. However, the truth is that financial security is best achieved through careful planning and self-discipline. This means making decisions earlier in life that prioritize long-term stability over short-term gratification. It means living within one's means, investing wisely, and ensuring that you are not a burden on others. Health is another crucial factor. Many people neglect their physical well-being, assuming that doctors, medication, or family members will manage their health problems when they arise. But the reality is that the body, once neglected, does not easily recover. Taking responsibility for one's health means exercising regularly, eating well, and making lifestyle choices that prioritize longevity and well-being. It is about recognizing that no one else can do this for you. Equally important is emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. The way one responds to these challenges is a matter of personal choice. Blaming others for misfortunes or waiting for external solutions only leads to frustration and helplessness. Instead, a responsible person acknowledges setbacks, learns from them, and adapts. This mindset is what allows individuals to move forward, even in the face of difficulty. Ultimately, personal responsibility is about taking control of one's life. It is about refusing to be passive, about making conscious choices that lead to self-sufficiency and fulfillment. By embracing this mindset, one can enter their later years not as a dependent, but as a person who is strong, capable, and in charge of their own destiny. Mental and emotional resilience is one of the most crucial factors in determining how well a person navigates life after 60. As people age, they inevitably face challenges that test their inner strength. Loss of loved ones, physical decline, changing social dynamics, and even the existential weight of mortality. These are not easy things to confront, and many individuals find themselves overwhelmed, sinking into despair, regret, or bitterness. However, those who cultivate resilience are able to withstand these difficulties and emerge with a sense of purpose, stability, and peace. Resilience does not mean avoiding pain or pretending that difficulties do not exist. It means developing the psychological strength to process hardship without being broken by it. This requires the ability to adapt to change, regulate emotions, and find meaning in suffering. A person who lacks resilience is easily overwhelmed by negative experiences. They may fall into patterns of complaining, blaming, or retreating from life. In contrast, a resilient person acknowledges hardship while refusing to let it define them. They see adversity as something to be faced, not feared. And they understand that suffering, while painful, can also be a source of growth. One of the most common emotional challenges after 60 is loneliness. Social circles often shrink as friends move away, become ill, or pass on. Family members may be busy with their own lives, leaving an individual with more solitude than they anticipated. For those who are not mentally prepared, this can lead to isolation, depression, and a sense of purposelessness. However, resilience allows a person to see solitude not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for self-reflection, personal growth, and even the discovery of new connections. It requires the ability to shift one's mindset from seeing loneliness as abandonment to seeing it as a chance to build inner strength and self-reliance. Resilience is also about emotional regulation. Life does not always go according to plan, and the ability to handle disappointment, frustration, and uncertainty is essential. A person who has not built emotional resilience may react to setbacks with anger, bitterness, or self-pity. They may dwell on past mistakes or become consumed by regret. But resilience allows a person to accept what cannot be changed while focusing on what can. Instead of getting stuck in destructive emotions, a resilient person learns how to process them in a healthy way through reflection, action, or seeking support when needed. Another key aspect of resilience is maintaining a sense of meaning and hope. Without these, it is easy to fall into despair. People who lack purpose often feel as though they are simply waiting for the end, drifting through life without direction. But those who are mentally strong understand that meaning is something that must be actively cultivated. They find purpose in small things, helping others, learning new skills, or engaging in creative or intellectual pursuits. This ability to extract meaning from life, even in difficult times, is what keeps the spirit alive. Ultimately, resilience is a skill that must be developed, not something a person is simply born with. It is the ability to face life's inevitable hardships without crumbling, to endure suffering without losing hope, and to find strength in the very challenges that threaten to break us. Those who cultivate it enter their later years with confidence, knowing that whatever comes, they will be able to face it with courage and grace. Physical health and wellness become increasingly important after 60, yet many people neglect them, assuming that decline is inevitable. While aging does bring physical changes, it does not mean that a person has to surrender to weakness, chronic illness, or a diminished quality of life. The choice is made every day: what to eat, how to move, how to rest, play a significant role in determining how well a person ages. Those who take responsibility for their health not only extend their lifespan, but also improve their ability to live independently and with dignity. One of the greatest misconceptions about aging is that it automatically leads to frailty. In reality, much of what people attribute to aging is actually the result of neglect and inactivity. Muscles weaken not simply because of age, but because they are not used. Joints stiffen because movement becomes limited. Cardiovascular health declines because people stop engaging in physical activity. The body is incredibly adaptive, and even after 60, it responds positively to exercise, strength training, and proper nutrition. Those who prioritize their physical well-being find that they are able to maintain mobility, strength, and endurance far longer than those who simply accept deterioration as an unavoidable fate. Diet plays a crucial role in maintaining health, yet it is often overlooked. Many people continue poor eating habits into their later years, consuming processed foods, excess sugar, and unhealthy fats that contribute to inflammation, weight gain, and disease. Proper nutrition is not about strict dieting. or deprivation. It is about giving the body the fuel it needs to function optimally. A diet rich in whole foods, lean proteins, healthy fats, vegetables, and fiber provides the energy and nutrients necessary to maintain strength and cognitive function. Hydration is equally important, as dehydration can lead to fatigue, confusion, and a weakened immune system. A person who takes control of their diet is actively choosing to improve their quality of life. Sleep is another critical factor that many overlook. As people age, sleep patterns often change, leading to difficulties in falling or staying asleep. However, dismissing this as a normal part of aging is a mistake. Sleep is essential for recovery, mental clarity, and overall health. Poor sleep can increase the risk of cognitive decline, weaken the immune system, and contribute to mood disorders. Establishing good sleep habits, reducing screen time before bed, maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, and creating a comfortable sleep environment can dramatically improve overall well-being. Stress management is just as important as physical activity, diet, and sleep. Chronic stress accelerates aging, weakens the immune system, and increases the risk of conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. Those who find effective ways to manage stress, whether through meditation, time in nature, creative pursuits, or meaningful social interactions, tend to age more gracefully and maintain better overall health. Taking responsibility for physical health is not about vanity or trying to defy aging. It is about ensuring that the years ahead are as fulfilling and independent as possible. The body, when cared for properly, remains strong, resilient, and capable. Those who make their health a priority after 60 set themselves up for a life that is not just longer, but richer and more vibrant. Purpose and meaning become essential as a person ages, yet many find themselves struggling with a sense of direction after 60. Throughout life, identity is often tied to roles: parent, worker, provider, caretaker. But as children grow up, careers come to an end, and social circles change. Many feel an unsettling void. Without a strong sense of purpose, life can begin to feel aimless, leading to feelings of loneliness, depression, and insignificance. However, those who actively cultivate meaning in their later years find that life remains fulfilling, rewarding, and worth waking up for every day. A common mistake people make is believing that purpose must come from external validation. In youth, purpose often comes from meeting expectations, building a career, raising a family, contributing to society. But after 60, the challenge is different. Purpose must now be self-defined, shaped by internal values rather than external pressures. This is an opportunity rather than a loss. Without the constraints of earlier responsibilities, individuals have the freedom to explore new interests, revisit old passions, or contribute to society in ways that feel deeply personal and meaningful. Those who embrace this phase of life with curiosity rather than fear discover that purpose is not something lost with age, but something that evolves. One of the greatest sources of meaning comes from the ability to contribute to something beyond oneself. Many people find fulfillment in mentoring younger generations, volunteering for causes they care about, or sharing the wisdom gained from decades of experience. Teaching, guiding, or simply offering a listening ear can provide an immense sense of purpose. The idea that one's knowledge and experience can continue to benefit others reinforces a sense of significance. Contribution does not have to be grand. Even small acts of kindness and support can create deep fulfillment. Lifelong learning is another path to meaning. The mind remains sharp and engaged when it is constantly challenged. Many find purpose in exploring subjects they never had time for earlier in life. Literature, philosophy, art, science, or even learning a new skill. The willingness to continue growing intellectually and creatively keeps life exciting and prevents stagnation. Those who see life as a continuous journey of learning find that there is always something to look forward to. Always a new challenge to embrace. Creativity also plays a vital role in cultivating purpose. Whether through writing, painting, music, or any other form of artistic expression, creativity allows for self-discovery and connection. Creating something, regardless of whether it is for an audience or personal satisfaction, is an affirmation that one's existence still holds value. Engaging in creative pursuits provides a sense of accomplishment and joy, keeping the spirit alive and engaged with the world. Ultimately, purpose is not something that is handed to a person, it must be actively sought. Those who wait for meaning to appear often find themselves lost, while those who take action, explore, and remain engaged with life discover that meaning is always within reach. A life driven by purpose is not just more enjoyable, it is richer, deeper, and filled with a sense of fulfillment that lasts until the very end. A sense of connection to the larger whole becomes increasingly important after 60 IDS. As life progresses, many of the familiar structures that once provided meaning begin to change. Family dynamics shift, social circles evolve, and the fast-moving world can sometimes feel distant or unfamiliar. Without a strong sense of connection, it is easy to feel isolated, disconnected, and even irrelevant. However, those who recognize their place within a larger framework, whether through relationships, community, spirituality, or a broader sense of purpose, find that they remain deeply engaged with life. This connection offers stability, meaning, and a sense of belonging that is essential for emotional well-being. Human beings are social creatures, and isolation is one of the greatest threats to mental and physical health as people age. The absence of daily workplace interactions, changes in family roles, and the loss of close friends can make social engagement more difficult. Those who do not actively cultivate new connections often experience loneliness, which can lead to depression, cognitive decline, and a diminished sense of self-worth. However, connection is something that must be intentionally pursued. Maintaining and deepening relationships requires effort, whether through regular contact with loved ones, involvement in community activities, or simply reaching out to others in meaningful ways. A person who prioritizes connection understands that relationships are not just about receiving support, but also about giving, about being present, listening, and offering kindness to others. Beyond personal relationships, a sense of connection to a larger community provides a deep source of fulfillment. Many people find meaning in contributing to causes greater than themselves, whether through volunteering, activism, or mentorship. Being part of something that extends beyond individual concerns fosters a sense of legacy, an understanding that one's actions continue to have an impact even as time moves forward. Those who remain actively involved in their communities experience a greater sense of purpose and satisfaction, knowing that their efforts still matter. Spirituality, in whatever form it takes, is another powerful way to maintain connection, whether through religious faith, meditation, nature, or philosophical reflection. A spiritual perspective helps frame life's challenges and transitions in a meaningful way. It provides comfort in times of uncertainty and offers a sense of continuity that extends beyond personal circumstances. Many people find that deepening their spiritual or philosophical understanding in later years brings a greater sense of peace and acceptance, allowing them to navigate life's final chapters with grace rather than fear. A connection to the larger whole also includes an awareness of one's place in the grander scheme of existence. Life is not just about individual struggles or personal achievements. It is about the ongoing story of humanity, of nature, of the universe itself. Recognizing this vastness can be both humbling and empowering. It reminds individuals that they are part of something far greater than themselves, something that continues long after they are gone. This perspective fosters a sense of gratitude, encouraging a deeper appreciation for life and the people within it. Ultimately, maintaining connection is a choice. It requires effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. Those who seek and nurture meaningful relationships, contribute to their communities, explore their spiritual beliefs, and embrace their place within the larger world, find that life remains rich and purposeful, no matter their age.